the Point in Progress podcast, episode 52. 52, guys. We're at 52.
We did it. Full year of content.
Hell yeah. New 52.
You're okay. So I didn't read the rest of this part.
It's all new. Everything's all new, baby.
Yeah, your number one catching up podcast talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, The Quarry, Miss Marvel, and so much
You
more.
couldn't slow down during that.
Nope, couldn't do it. Let the progress begin. Or progress.
It says you have a choice there. You have choices.
Yeah, there's choices. Also,
I saw the D's nuts thing. Don't worry. All right, let's go right to segment number one. Let's go to the checkpoint. Season 1 of MCU University or MC University wraps up next week with Ghost Rider. I am so sorry for you guys, by the way, for Ghost Rider.
good luck with that. That's gonna be fun.
We love the first one. We're just I'm afraid of this edgelordy one. That's all I'm scared about.
I know for a fact it's not great. Good luck.
New episode of Model Citizen Club came out today.
Yes.
As we're recording, and Mario is gonna chug a White Claw apparently.
I did in the video. You should watch that. See what happens.
Oh, in the video it did. Okay.
Yeah, we'll not do that again. That was a lot.
No.
That was a lot of water.
No, don't do White Claws.
Shotgunned White Claws before?
Not in a while.
I feel like shotgunning and chugging are two different things.
Fair.
Also, Mario and I just recorded the Miss Marvel spoiler cast yesterday. That should be up next week as well.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited for people to jump into it. But yeah, today a lot of our conversations are going to be Love and Thunder, Quarry, Miss Marvel, and
Frank, your internet humor, it doesn't work on tape. We don't know what's going on.
I don't know what I don't know what that is.
Wait, Frank, just say it.
On the Bible. Okay.
There we go.
Well,
No.
you misspelled the Bible.
No. Say it in the Frank way. I want to hear the Frank way. Say it.
Ible?
Yes, there you go. There we go.
Yeah. The fucking Bible?
Frank does this thing at work where he just says random words. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I love it.
How you doing, Fee?
Doing great, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna
Glad half of you is here.
Half of myself is here. The other half is gone. Just vibing, just doing my own thing, just hanging out here. Doing pretty good, Harv. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing a-okay. We're gonna start with Love and Thunder because it feels like a lot of people have. I think 3 of you guys have watched Love and Thunder.
Yes, we've all seen it.
Yeah. So far, so I want you guys to expound on that. How was Love and Thunder, Mario? I want to start with you.
Love and Thunder, it's okay. I really loved Thor Ragnarok when it first came out. Obviously with Taika, I'm a huge Taika fan with all the movies that he's done, all the comedies, all the way down to Flight of the Conchords. And honestly, I just thought that the comedy overtook this one, and it wasn't enough of a balance between MCU and the jokes. And I think some of the jokes went a little too far. More so than I thought a complete story Ragnarok was. So in this instance, yeah, to me, this wasn't it.
Interesting.
What do you think, Sly? What do you think?
I do not like Ragnarok at all. That's probably my biggest MCU hot take.
Hot take.
You can say all your shit about Star Wars.
They have said this. They have said this before on the podcast.
I've said it before. I know people vehemently disagree, but to me, it feels tonally consistent. Like they took 2 separate movies and sliced them together and just shoved them into one, and it doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of tonal arc or tonal consistency. It feels like either comedy or like drama, and it didn't work for me. So before watching Love and Thunder, I asked a friend who had already seen it. I said, "Hey, this is my feelings about Ragnarok. Am I going to like Love and Thunder?" And she said, "No, absolutely not. You're gonna hate it." And that was the perfect setup because I went in expecting to hate it, and I actually had a pretty good time. It felt more tonally consistent. It felt more balanced. There was the drama, the deep, the emotion, and also the comedy, but it felt like it was one package and not 2 separate things. So I actually had a pretty decent time with it.
I think that what makes that work is that this feels more of a Taika thing than the other one did. I felt like he was putting his stuff on it, but personally, there are still things I just prefer in Ragnarok. I think it just maybe the people, the company that the movie has. Jeff Goldblum's fucking amazing, but other than that, yeah, just still prefer Ragnarok. Frank, you saw it with me.
Yeah, I was right next to Mario this whole time, shoving my face full of popcorn.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. I have some mixed feelings about this movie. I'm gonna go with shout out to Jordan Deeb on Twitter. I thought the movie was kind of mid. I thought it was too much. It didn't really know what it wanted to be, in my opinion. Like, it didn't really know if it wanted to like go like balls to the wall with the comedy, but then like the parts with drama, there was never enough time for you to actually process the drama, because then it would just hit you with another piece of comedy right after it. And then I just thought it was just, I don't want to see Thor sitting there for almost a whole minute or two going and like literally heavy breathing on screen while Jane Foster's on it. It just wasn't entertaining to me. Like, some of those parts were just kind of boring. And then, like, I don't know. I think the best parts about it were Christian Bale. I think Christian Bale fucking killed it every single time he was on screen. He's a fucking amazing actor. There was definitely some really good, funny scenes that I was like, hell yeah. But overall, I didn't get that consistent like dopamine rush that you get from watching Ragnarok. There was just too many times where I'm just like, yeah, let's move the fuck on, guys. Like, I don't need to see Thor, you know, heavy breathing on screen, or Jane Foster stumbling on her words. I get it. I guess that's what love is, but like, it gets boring after like the first 5 times you make that joke. You know what I mean?
I will say, one of my big gripes with this is people kept saying like this is like a gay movie, like it's super gay. It's not gay. It's a queer story, sure, but it's not super gay, and that's a very important distinction. And so like that was like, it has queer themes, it's telling queer stories, that's true. But like, I don't know, the way it was advertised as like a gay movie, I felt was way off base.
Yeah. And then my main problem with it is like, we shovel in Jane Foster just as fast as we shovel her right out. I'm just like, okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome. She got like 5 minutes of screen, like that was more than 5 minutes, but you know what I mean? Like, she didn't really have much time to really do anything, in my opinion, in the whole movie. Though I did think the Mjolnir shattering stuff was pretty cool, though. That was kind of sick. But that's about it, honestly, for me.
Yeah, I needed more from her. We love unaliving your female characters to progress the story of the male characters. Fun times.
That's not a spoiler, I promise.
So seeing or hearing this, V, what are your thoughts? Like, are you gonna watch this movie at some point?
Well, my plan was to watch it. I enjoy the different takes that they've taken with Thor after Dark World, because that was I rewatched it recently and it was not a good movie. It was just really bad.
We were on such a trajectory to watch all the MCU, and the Dark World happened, and you're like, I'm done with this shit.
I like the MCU. We're done.
No, I got busy. I plan on getting back into it once the middle of August, once everything is cooled down again. I can actually start enjoying Marvel. But no, I want to be able to like I want to definitely watch it once I've finished everything else. But no, I'm kind of interested to see where they take it, because like, even in the comics, Thor was never really a serious, like, there were obviously serious moments for him, but he's always kind of been like, I'm not going to say the butt of the joke of the MCU, but they always like, he's always been the comedy. Like, it's always been like, if you see Thor, there's going to be some silly stuff that's about to happen. And I feel like that's what Taika's his take of Thor was, because I know they took him to like a serious kind of route with like, I'm not even gonna talk about that movie again. But no, I'm just
the Dank World.
Yeah, I also think it's quite hilarious that he just completely forgot the fact that Natalie Portman was in Star Wars. because he asked her, "Hey, do you ever want to be in Star Wars?" And she's like, "I've already been in Star Wars."
Oh,
And
the
he's
three
just like,
movies.
Arguably one of the most important characters in the Star Wars lore.
and he's just like, oh, and then he's apparently like in an interview, he's just like, yeah, the moment the words just left my mouth, I knew I'd fucked up, and that was it. No,
He
I'm
also made a comment about, I forget those ones exist.
yeah, he just forgot. He just forgot.
I mean, a lot of
valid.
people do. A lot of people do.
No,
you can't blame him, but like, yeah.
No, I'm just interested to see. I've heard consistently that it's either mid or just not their favorite out of any of the movies. So I'm interested, but I'm in no rush
So
to see it.
funny.
There's other
It's
things
just
to
like, my group of people were raving. Everybody I heard from absolutely loved it. So it's so funny to hear y'all be like, it's fine. I'm
Yeah, I mean-
glad we're on the same wavelength there.
I will admit, like, visually and like everything like that, that movie's fucking great looking. Everything in that movie
Yeah.
looks really good. It's just story wise, it's not worth the 2 hours for me to watch again.
good to know.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to watching it, and after seeing everybody else's reviews, I'm like, can I just wait until it comes on Disney Plus at this point?
At this point, yeah, I would say just wait until Disney Plus.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
I would say you don't have to go all the way to the theaters, buy a popcorn, and try to go see this movie. Just go fucking wait till it's on Disney Plus.
I won't lie. To me, it's like your enjoyment can really extend to waiting for it to be on streaming or going the first weekend of a Marvel movie, because that's when you have probably the most excitement with the group that you're with. But the later you go, it's like diminishing returns. But that's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, going to the open caption screenings, while it's great, I will only go see open caption movies. They're empty.
Yeah,
Like
I actually
maybe 3 people in a theater, and that's not a great Marvel experience.
I know exactly when you went to go see it too, because I got like a notification on my phone that your tickets were up, and I'm like, did I buy tickets to Thor on accident?
I put, when I'm going to see things, I put it on the calendar so people
Yeah, but it's on the
can
PiP.
see it.
It's on the PiP calendar. So I'm like,
It's also on the after
Yeah.
party calendar. It's also on the Thirsty Thursdays calendar.
I'm like at work, and I'm like, fuck, did I buy Thor tickets? I saw the captioning thing. I was like, oh, okay, slide.
It's like, no, Mario bought Thor tickets.
The a lot of the captioning just reminds, for some reason, it reminds me of Stranger Things. And I remember, I think it was Fee that sent me the TikTok of like the different captions of like what they did in the Stranger Things show, where it's like
They're
You know
very,
what?
very descriptive.
very descriptive, very
Yeah.
descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on from Love and Thunder to something that we've all well, 3 of us, I guess. The other 3 of us have experienced. Fee has tangentially experienced this very thoroughly, and that is the Quarry.
Yes, I have.
So I played through this game once, and I went through movie mode as well, through the entire thing in movie mode. So we went through both. On stream, I went through both of them. Mario has went through the game once, and then he dabbled into movie mode, which I get is a big commitment, right? It's 6 hours, six to 6.5
It's a 6-hour
hours.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to start with you, Mario. What did you think about the Quarry?
I think in terms of the games that I have played from Supermassive since Until Dawn, and that of course is mostly just Man of Medan. I dabbled a little bit in Little Hope, and Hidden Agenda was also by them. I thought that was actually kind of a fun game as well. This is definitely the more open and actual a game that is, I would say, more than just making choices. You're actually doing a lot of activities in this game specifically. Not much, not a lot, but some. Just enough to get by, where it's sort of like you're exploring this huge place, this campground. Story wise, I'm still definitely more a fan of Until Dawn, but I love the ingenuity of using this sort of sleepaway camp style story, and the type of thing that they're going against in it, which which is the sort of the surprise / fun of these games, right? I will say I would love for them to start moving away from certain tropes, which I will only say in a non-spoilery capacity. But the characters, the actors that you get to play and slash murder are pretty awesome. Of course, we have David Arquette is leading the cast along with Ted Raimi and Ethan Suplee. And then a bunch of the young cast like Brenda Song from Sweet Life of Jack and Cody, which is hilarious. She's one of my favorite characters in the whole thing.
Love Brenda Song. Loved her in this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
For some reason, Brenda Song and both Ashley, what's from Tisdale was in the last movie that they did too. So kind of crazy. But yeah, I love these awesome, fucking fantastic horror games that are out that are these sort of like little stories. And so I had a good time. Everyone died in my playthrough. Literally everyone died. I can't believe I could accomplish that.
Every single person.
I will say this game is very.
I don't know how that's possible.
This game is very unforgiving. With like, there's literally a choice. I'll spoil a choice real quick, and then I'll move on. There's a choice where the lady's like, "Okay, should I look in this bag or should I go up there to my certain death?" And I click certain death.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with it. I just want to see, like, sure enough, she fucking died, and I never saw her again. And I was
on that same note. So when I played the first time, I let chat just decide everything. So chat decides all the decisions. Chat made it clear that they hate this character with a passion.
Really?
And so they killed her off like that.
Wow.
There wasn't even discussion. There wasn't even discussion goes to the back. It was right from the cellar.
I just want to say, she died because I fell asleep. Because I fell asleep, I woke up and she was dead. Because I was watching it and I'm like, you guys had one fucking job and you killed her. I mean, there's reasons why it happened, and I understand where they took it.
I get it. Okay.
But at the same time, it's just like,
why not?
So the fact that everybody died on your playthrough is flabbergasting to me.
There's this game can be very unforgiving, and I'll tell you what. There's another part where I was just trying to figure out how to save a specific character. I won't say who it was, but I kept making all the wrong fucking decisions, and then it was the one solution that you needed to keep them survived. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. But other than that, there's some things you have to make. You have to make decisions. Like sometimes you have to maim some of these characters, and it's bad. There's a great Evil Dead reference in the game too as well, and I applaud them for making it and being horrible fucking people, because they killed quite a few people. I would love to watch Frank play this game though, because I loved watching him play Until Dawn. It was so much fun.
Yeah, no. Speaking of that, I was gonna say I don't blame you, because I remember very distinctly I saved everybody in Until Dawn, and then I got to the end where the little like switch thing happens.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people die. Yeah.
I saved everybody just to kill them.
Yeah. That last moment on Until Dawn, that last light switch moment is what I think gets everybody.
Yeah.
Because you kill off so many people. This game didn't have that.
I knew it would kill, because they say like it's gonna blow up, and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, blow the whole house up. I don't give a shit.
But the thing is, like, this game didn't have that, which was kind of cool, because like everybody had their own like kind of like linear kind of like ways to go.
Yeah.
And I was really happy that like it didn't go to like a last decision to kill a bunch of people.
The only fucked up thing.
You're muted.
You muted yourself. You unmuted and muted yourself again.
I was not muted.
Oh, okay. Oh. I saw your lips moving, and I was like, okay, I think you're talking.
No, it was just like,
Did the Italian soup thing.
I love it when Fee does a Robert De Niro impression. It's so good.
Hey, give me your best De Niro.
This is it right here.
What do you do?
This is it.
It's so good.
So I really enjoyed this game. I think this is a better game than Until Dawn, mainly because I like the characters in this game much more. It's Until Dawn is more scary. Like it's got more of the horror vibes to it. But I knew going into this game that it wasn't gonna be scary. It's gonna be campy as fuck. Like I knew that going in. But that's how they.
At a camp?
Yeah. You're in a camp. It's gonna be campy as hell. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Exactly. So going into it, I love the little jokes. I love the interaction between like the characters. I wasn't the biggest fan of the guy from Detective Pikachu.
Oh, Smith.
Yeah,
Justice Smith. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
what was going on with him? Like the
Yeah,
entire time
I feel like he was there and then he's not there. He's there, then he's not there. I don't know. It was kind of a weird performance by him.
I took him as a monotone goth kid.
Yeah. I listen to the podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that kid before.
But dude, my favorite character of the entire thing is Dylan. Dylan is the best character.
Oh.
He was fucking jokes and just
Yeah.
on point with the one-liners.
I
absolutely
was trying to get him to fuck Ryan so bad, and I couldn't. I fucked that relationship up.
I mean, but there's no fucking in the
Well,
game.
you
No,
get
I
people
meant to get together. I meant to get together.
I mean, you can't get them
Well,
to
I mean,
kiss.
you could just say get together instead of fucking. I mean,
You know, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
that's what we asked.
But no, I really enjoyed it. I think 2 people died on mine. I think Nick died
Yep.
and
I see.
Emma died. Yeah,
Oh.
those are the 2 that died for
Got
me.
it.
But, Sophie, you experienced this game in a different way.
Oh, I
you
sure
experienced
did.
you experienced it as other people making choices and as movie mode. What do you think about it?
Well, here's the deal. I decided to experience the game even after those 2 experiences.
Ooh.
Which was watching other people play and then deciding like, you know what, I would love to see what happens at the end if you make other decisions. So I just went into a deep dive one night and I have thoughts. When I watched you play through it, it was very exciting because it was like it felt like I was almost playing the game in a way because it was very interactive. We got to have conversations with you. It was a vote. Chat got a little heated sometimes depending on certain things, which happened. And then Crafty and I almost got into a specific argument because of said character when you went into movie mode, and we were just like, no, it should be this, and we're like, okay, we need to balance it out a little bit. And it was a lot of fun. But no, I think there's a few things that I really liked about it, and there's other things where I think they could have done things differently. And one thing that and a comment that I even mentioned in your chat, without spoiling anything, there was maybe a little bit too much of a similarity to Until Dawn in certain aspects that I just was not particularly a fan of. Including specific things that may have occurred, or maybe specific people or things that we see.
It's the big bads, really. It's the big bads. I feel like
it's
are
the
like
big
really
bads.
really similar. Yeah.
The big bads were too similar, and I was just like,
Yeah, we need a new. We need a new thing.
I'm like, we
Yeah.
need like, because honestly, like we were taking guesses on what was happening, and I'm like, I swear to fucking God, if this is the Wendigo again, I get it, like the Wendigo are big baddies, but like it can't be it can't be the Wendigos again, because it wouldn't make any sense storyline wise, because they've been trying to consistently change it up with each anthology, like with the anthology series, with their other games, and they've tried to make it a little bit different. And so it was just like the design I wasn't particularly a fan of. And then when I took a deep dive, there was just a few things that happen if you, like, let's say pull a Mario and kill everyone off, or you make other decisions, and it's just like some of them were like legit, like, okay, that's really cool, and then others just kind of fell flat for me. And I think it's just more on the lines of I'm missing that magic of what Until Dawn was. And the quarry was good. The jokes and everything aside were quite interesting. I do feel like over the past few games they have kind of leaned towards kind of like the teenagers in the woods kind of trope, like with Until Dawn, and then doing this with the quarry. I would like to see some sort of other setting in the future, like.
So the other games have done that though, right? Like
Correct.
House of Ashes is a military one where you go into like a sarcophagus, like you go into underground sarcophagus and stuff like
Correct.
that. So, and then Little Hope is going into a haunted
Small town.
Small town, and it's
But-
got kids and it's got adults that are in there as well.
Yeah.
But if you were to compare the two games, Until Dawn and the Quarry, there's a lot of
There's
similarities.
a lot of
Similarities, yeah.
similarities.
And
Because like
that's where-
those other ones are smaller, and it like
Yeah, they're
like
much
about
smaller.
a quarter of the size of what Until Dawn is, if I'm correct.
Yeah, because like my thought process, and for people who are fans of horror, I think it would be fantastic if they got some ideas from things like Black Christmas, which is a 1970s slasher film that was filmed in Canada. And I think that would be kind of cool. Mind you, they would have to find something different when it comes to the big baddie, because that one seems a little bit too much like Evil Dead. Mario, you know what Black Christmas is, correct?
Yeah,
Do they kill him with kindness in this movie?
no, it's something else with sister stuff. But yeah,
It's like it's like a sorority in the middle
Yeah.
of winter, and then there's some supernatural aspects. And I think if they, or maybe something like taking like some ideas from like going a little bit more hardcore, like taking Hereditary. Mind you, there's a lot of things in Hereditary that I do not recommend in any sort of like game capacity. But having kind of just like, it was what I was missing. I was missing kind of like the like, oh my god
The
moment.
soul.
Yeah, the soul of it. There was a lot of things there that was great, but some of the characters, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of almost had like, and what you like to say, Harv, and I consistently had to hear this for hours on end, is it had the Stranger Things effect, where it felt like there may have been too many characters. And one of the characters just disappears. We don't see him for the rest, like for 4 hours, we don't see this character again. Shocker, no surprise, he lives, but you don't see him anymore. He just goes out in the woods, and then like,
Oh, it depends on if he lives or not. Depends on
correct,
your
if he lives or not. But in your gameplay, he lives, but it's not like we go back to him. We're just
Yeah,
like,
see, that's where a lot of my problem lies with it. Like, I don't think it's a perfect game. I think it's still better than Until Dawn, but there are problems that this game has. It's like we leave characters and we don't go back to them for like 3 hours,
correct.
and you're like why? What? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
There's a lot of things that could happen to that character, by the way, but like the way that specifically happened with Harvard's is like they stumbled out of the woods. There's a lot of other things that could happen, by the way, so that's not a spoiler because there's like 20 different things that could
there's
happen.
apparently 168 endings is what I've been hearing. So I don't know
Yeah,
if it's true
so
or
there's a
not.
lot of
Damn,
shit.
okay.
There's a lot of
Jesus
shit that could happen to this
Christ.
character.
Yeah.
But like the one that Harv got, for example, is he stumbled out of the woods crying. The end. And I'm like, we didn't find him for 4 hours, but apparently he just stumbled out of the woods crying. Okay.
The other funny thing about that is that he was locked up.
PTSD.
The other funny thing is he was locked up. He got out and he walked out into the woods and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe what's happening!" And then he's like, "All right, man, gotta stop being a bitch about it." And then we don't ever see him again.
Nice.
And then it's like, "Oh, okay."
For hours.
neat. Yeah.
Hours. It's not just like, it's not like an hour or so. He had the stranger. You know what? He had the Stranger Things effect.
Well, apparently you didn't kill him off enough. All right, you didn't kill him off enough.
I do
So
have a
this
question
is-
about this game, though.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet. I will be playing it. I'll probably actually. I've been trying to get my coworker to play it because she lives in a fucking sick ass high rise, and they have like a 20 TV setup.
I asked
in,
about
like,
that,
one of the rooms.
Frank. It's going to cost us money to do it in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Nah. But anyway, I want to play this with some friends. But anyway, my question being, and this actually kind of annoyed me in Until Dawn, is the reason why I don't like give it a 10 out of 10, is how predictable is the main killer? Because I figured that shit out like halfway through Until Dawn. Mario knows this. I was like, it's
Yeah.
this guy.
That's
this
not
one's
the
a little
point.
bit- So this for this one, they tell you who the main what the like the baddie is halfway through the game. They tell you what it is.
Oh, perfect. So I don't have to play the guessing game
Not at all.
early.
No.
All right,
No.
cool.
But the thing is, there is an extra layer of story that's on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know
like
what
other
that
than Until
you get.
Dawn, because you had the main killer, but then it was like a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to explain it to you. It's like a Supernatural episode, but 6 hours long.
Yes.
Oh, so they spend half of the episode finding this thing, realizing that it's the wrong thing, and then the other half of the episode fixing the fact that they fucked up the first time.
Too close, but yes.
Yeah. You can say that.
Whoops.
Whoops.
But I do like I do like some of the callbacks of the game. I think the gameplay is a lot better. I know that people like I don't know why people want this thing back where you have to keep the controller still.
Oh,
For
fuck that.
I was like that was one of the worst mechanics you could possibly put into a
shit
game.
is that?
I'll,
Or,
I'll
Heavy
gladly
Rain?
hold down A for a long period of time. That's the most
Also, yes,
extensive.
it is also multi-platform, so you can't do that anyways. So if you're using mouse and keyboard, how do you fucking leave that thing like you just don't touch it?
Probably
Just
like
keep your
press-
hand on the keyboard the whole time.
How do they know you're touching the keyboard?
Oh, who fucking knows, man? We'll be
Who
right back. I need to grab a pop
fucking
for later.
knows?
Yeah. So I think the Quarry is a good game. I put out a review on it as well on the channel, and I think it's a good game. Good
Oh,
game.
he's still there. Frank freaked me out for a second there. I was like, wait a minute, his camera's down again. Nope, he's still there.
Okay, next thing we gotta talk about. Is the Miss Marvel. We're gonna go up to episode 5 because Sly has not seen episode 6 yet. So we're gonna go right to episode. We're gonna cut off an episode. We're not even gonna talk. We're not gonna
spoil anything.
Yeah, he hasn't watched it,
And Frank hasn't.
And Frank hasn't watched it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There-
We're not gonna spoil it or anything like that. So, Sly, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about Miss Marvel?
I've been loving it. Like we said, I haven't seen episode 6, and that is because I don't want it to be over. And once I watch like the final episode, it'll feel like complete in my brain, right? So I'm putting that off till the last possible minute. I'm gonna have to watch it tomorrow, but it's just so fun. It's visually stunning. Like the way they play with the editing style is just so enjoyable. The story is just, it's telling a very specific story, which makes it so relatable, which is something that we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of like super generalized, big concept, big picture stories, and we haven't seen more contained stories. So that's been super fun. And it's the first Marvel thing I've been like excited to watch every week for the longest time. Like the past couple projects, it's like, oh, I have to watch this week, and not I can't wait to watch it. So that's been great to have something that I'm genuinely excited to sit down for.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But before I go, I'm gonna send it over to Mario. Mario, what do you? We did a spoiler cast of it yesterday. That's gonna go out next week.
Yes.
But just kind of top level thoughts.
Yeah, this is one of the best Marvel projects I think they've ever made. Hands down, no cap. There is wonderful. I knew that was gonna make him laugh. There's just so many wonderful things about the show in terms of just the production of how it's put together, how it feels very much like the best way I could describe it is like Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, in the way that movie opens, and then some of the flourishes that they do, mixed in with obviously Scott Pilgrim. The thing that I think that they do really well is the characters. The family is one of the best families I've ever met in my life. The cast around Miss Marvel, Bruno, Nakia, and even Zoe at a small point are all wonderful.
Ryan, my love.
Just wonderful, absolute characters. And then the stuff that I think that, is the disservice is, it's Marvel still can't nail these movie, TV show like villains. But I think this show rises above it overall. I think having a weak villain, it tells its story. It makes me care about a culture that has always been portrayed kind of awfully in media, and I hold it precious now because of what I've learned and seen. So I absolutely adore it. And this show has dramatic ramifications for the future of the MCU, and not a lot of people are knowing that, and then they're just going to get mad that they're going to get spoiled about something cool. So please just watch the show.
If you're gonna watch an MCU show, you watch Loki and this one. That's it. You don't need to watch Moon Knight. You don't need to watch the other ones. Just watch Loki and this one. That's it.
Well, you just offended me and Fee. What's going on here?
Well, the other ones don't have any
My heart.
They don't have any effect on the upper MCU stuff.
We're forgetting about a show, or
What?
forgetting about 2 shows actually.
What if?
WandaVision.
Oh, sorry.
Captain
Well,
Winter Soldier.
but WandaVision already has it. Like but WandaVision already affected Doctor Strange. So like, I'm talking about going forward. Like going forward from now.
I mean, I feel like
Captain
what
Winter
she's
Soldier.
done is like still going to affect shit for
Yeah.
a very long time.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair,
okay.
after watching Multiverse of Madness, it affects one movie, and that's really it. Nothing else changes that we've seen so far. I'm not going to compare it because it's not comparable. You just need to see the show. Like,
I mean, we'll watch it I'll probably watch it eventually. When I'm bored.
But so my thoughts on it, I think it's one of the best character-driven shows. I think the characters are awesome. The family is awesome. seeing a depiction of a Muslim community is freaking awesome, and it kind of goes a long way to like show like the people that created the show want you to know what a Muslim community feels like, right?
Pretty
Me,
cool.
I am not Muslim. I am Sikh, but like I understand, because you could take our religion and put that, or our community and put that right there. It'll kind of just,
Translates.
you don't, it
much the same.
translates really well. Yeah, it translates really really well. The family, the community, the mosque stuff, all that kind of stuff. It just reminds me of my childhood. It literally reminds me everything that I went through with my family and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's awesome. It is one of the best depictions of that. And like what Mario said, it a lot of people were caught off guard because like seeing like a Muslim driven show in a good way is very jarring compared to what you see in all other mediums, right? Where like when you see them in like terror shows and all that kind of stuff, right? So like seeing this is kind of like, oh man, I did not expect this at all, kind of type thing. So I do think the villains are not great. I will but I think the show, how they handle particular world events and the how they how the character dynamics work kind of it kind of overtakes all the problems of the villains. And then yes, the ending does tie into like more stuff that's going to happen later on, which I finally have like, it feels like we're starting to get a clearer picture of where this damn Phase 4 is going at this point.
Yeah.
Because I've been lost for like the last like 4 months. We're like, where are we going with this, guys? Come on now.
I got a feeling I already know what it is. I haven't seen anything on it yet. Luckily, I haven't been spoiled, but it probably starts with an S and ends with a W. I mean, actually, no, that doesn't end with a W, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we know what movies are coming out.
Already.
We know those movies are coming out. I just mean like, we know how, like, we kind of are trying to figure out how we're gonna get there. Is what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I'm more excited about, because we already know we're going to that area. Like, they've already announced that movie's getting made, right? Or that show's already getting. They already announced it. It's just like, I want to know like how we get there. It's more for where I am.
All right, that's cool. I might give it a shot, because I'll be honest, the only reason I haven't watched it is because I've been watching Star Wars, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Another game. Okay, so a game that we've been playing. Fee and I have been playing this game.
Ooh.
And it is Naraka. We've been playing some Naraka. We've been playing some BR. We finally got Fee into a BR, guys.
Wait, that's Fee play Fortnite.
No, she's never played Fortnite.
Yes, that's exactly the story that we're giving everybody. I never played Fortnite.
No, she's played it once. I think she bought the battle pass once. I think she spent
battle pass. You shill.
I think she spent like $600 on it too. I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh wow, Harv,
yeah.
you just took it to fucking... Wow, no, I never did it. No, absolutely not. Please do not get that slander on the internet. No, So I finally found a battle pass that I enjoy. We saw it during the June kind of hot summer gaming. My words.
Hot gummer.
So we saw then
hot game in summer.
Hot game in summer. So we like, it's been out for a while, but it just recently got released to the West. And it's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. It's not like other BRs that are currently out rather than having like, oh, you have to find a gun and then just like shoot them up kind of thing. It is a lot about being stealthy. It's about trying to find a weapon that might fit your style. It ranges from daggers, long swords, great swords. There's katanas, dual wielding. There are guns in the game, but they're not used as prominently. They have a pistol and a musket, but they have other things like a crossbow. My favorite is the crossbow probably, and the dual swords. But yeah, it's a lot about trying to think strategically. There are different types of characters that you can get, so it kind of almost reminds me a little bit of like League of Legends, where you have to find a character. Like there's different characters, they have their own different abilities. The character that I usually use the most is Karumi, who is a healer, but also has abilities to like raise your shields as well as your health itself.
There's one game that this pretty much almost translates from game to game, and that's Apex Legends. when it comes to these guys, because each hero's got their own abilities.
Yeah.
And they all bring something to the table.
No. Harv played a character that none of us enjoy, mostly because he would just kept on going, wow!
No,
Whoa!
He'd go, what?
Yeah, what? When he found something.
This is Home Improvement?
And it was so annoying. It was very, very frustrating. But there's a lot of different characters. There's different abilities. There's one character that turns into a terracotta warrior and just like wrecks shit up with a massive pole arm. There's one guy who is essentially broken currently, and he turns into a four-armed, essentially demigod, and he just picks up people and just throws them around, which is absolutely stupid. But no, there's a lot of different characters to play. I keep on trying to convince other people to play. I always play with Lucas. We've convinced Harv to play with us a few times, which has been a lot of fun. And I feel like Harv may enjoy it more because he's played different characters now, other than the guy. Because
What guy?
He's just, I don't know. I don't like his ability. It's just like super speed after like you boost up to like your ultimate, and I'm just like, and he just runs around really fast, and he's just like, try to catch me, and it's like,
I got a question for you.
yes, of course. What's up?
Can I be a katana wielding gunslinger in this game?
Absolutely.
All right, downloading it now.
Okay, yeah, you can get a katana and you can get guns at the same time.
And
And so you can switch between two weapons, and then you have four weapon slots that you can unlock. But it's a lot of fun. Also, grappling in the game is insanely satisfying because you can just grapple across different trees, and it does have a lot of like interesting mechanics where you can like obviously go stealth mode, where you can hide. There's a massive tower that you can go to as well that has a large like medieval like one of those like sit down crossbows but it's on fire, and so you just shoot people with these massive
ballista.
Yeah, it's a ballista. That's exactly what it is. It's a ballista. But no, it's also the character creation is absolutely absurd. You can get the basic, like you can get like the set standard. There's 3 different like essentially looks that you can give your character, and then there is a customization where you can customize them from head to toe. It's absolutely crazy. And I wasn't told about the customization until a few hours into the game because Lucas didn't want to actually he as he said, I actually wanted to play the game, and so I did not tell you there was a character creation.
Holy fuck, Lucas, that was top level. That was top level right there, dude. Dude, Lucas is playing fucking 4D chess over here. We're playing checkers.
He's 5-head, dude. He's 5-head.
And when I saw people, I'm just like, man, there's people that are like pink and purple, and he's just like, yeah, it's a DLC skin, and I'm like, oh, okay.
What a legend, Lucas! Fucking shout out to Lucas, dude. That was so smart.
I think I remember you guys saying that. I think I remember you guys talking about that.
Because I just like I finally realized it because I'm like, oh man, there's like a plus icon, and he goes dead silent. Like he was in the middle of a sentence and goes silent. I'm like, why is there a plus sign? And he's like, and I'm like, why is there a plus sign?
Why is there
Nothing.
a plus sign?
And then I click the plus sign, and there's just this massive list from like entire face look, your ears, eyes, face position, your lips, your like entire like persona. It's like,
and that's when Lucas is like, I guess we're playing this next week.
No, actually,
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
No, I actually really like the set kind of character looks. The only one that I've really done anything with is Kurumi because I wanted to change up her eye makeup a little bit. But other than that, the characters are really good. The characters I play are Kurumi, and then there's Viper, who is she stuns people, and it's a lot of fun. So yes, I would highly recommend it. I plan on playing it after the podcast. So
I was gonna ask, do you want to play some? Because I'll download it. I'll fuck around with it. Screw it.
Yeah, I'm down to play it after.
Is
the
it
podcast.
crossplay?
It
It is crossplay. Yeah.
I have it on my Xbox.
Sick.
How
Yeah,
many
we were
how many
playing
is it to a team?
3 people.
But we can swap out.
Yeah, so it is it's on Game Pass, it's on Xbox. I think that's where it is, right? I don't think it's on PlayStation. Is it on PlayStation?
No.
No.
But
PlayStation 2.
I also bought the battle pass for it.
You shill. Of course you did.
Here's the thing. I'm currently like 56 into the battle pass, like level 56. So I'm like,
Okay.
I may as well buy it. And then with the amount of stuff that you get from the battle pass, I'm essentially already have enough to get the next battle pass.
That's what they say about every battle pass.
But I actually have enough already. Oh my
That's what they say about every one of them. That's how they get you, Pete.
It's okay. So for a person that's coming into this game, that I was like, all right, I wonder what this game is. For the most part, it's a really fun game. Like it's got really cool like loot system. It's got a decent loot system. I will say it's got a decent loot system. Not great, but it's decent. I like the different weapons and different arts and stuff like that you can do, and different kind of combos and stuff. Fighting is honestly probably to me it's one of the weakest things in this game. Mainly because like I feel like half the time I have no idea what the fuck is going on when you have like 7 people there. And you're just starting throwing swords around and hope. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly how I feel like. And then somehow I got like 6 kills. I was like, I don't know how this is working right now. I don't know like how I'm getting this, but it's still satisfying. You know, doing the jumping and doing all that kind of stuff. It's a satisfying game to play.
Yeah.
But I do have some of those kind of problems with it.
Yeah, the thing is, it uses a rock paper scissors system. So, your face. So the best way to put it is like if I use my mouse. So if you have a press hold attack, that's considered like essentially rock. That one takes out the scissors attack, which is usually like the faster attack. The faster attack usually takes out like the dodge, or specifically another type of variant. Once you like kind of understand it, it makes sense. However, there are ways to just completely wreck the system by just using your power-ups, or being mindful of like there is a talent tree that you like, or talent like area that you could go and you can boost up your character. And there's a number of other things as well. Also, like thinking of like your actual team like build is also something you need to keep in mind, because when we're playing, it's always trios, and so some characters might be better as like a solo character. Like if you're playing solos by yourself, there are some other characters that are best suited to be in a team. There's one called Justina, who is essentially, the best way to put it, she's the Elsa of the game. She freezes people on her team, and then she heals everybody. That's one of her ultimate abilities, and so that's one of the things she does. But it has a lot of different things. Like there's a character for everybody, and I know that's easy to say, but I personally really enjoy it. Like I said, and all the characters and the arts, like they have their own type of path. So when you first start playing them, you can boost them up so they actually get a new different abilities. And the art style in that is fantastic. Like it is absolutely gorgeous. It is like black on white paper, kind of like ink style, like very traditional artwork. And it is a very, very pretty game. Like it's a stunning game overall, especially for a BR.
This game just makes me want to play Neo 2, to be completely honest. Yeah, it's the same kind of style. Like the world is the same kind of style. So
yeah.
But yeah,
12 games in, so I'm about halfway downloaded already, so it should be finished by the time this podcast is done.
Also, I just have one gripe though. Whenever you change outfits for some of the female characters, their boobs jiggle every single time you switch out different characters.
I mean, that's buying the battle pass now.
That's
oh my god.
That's P, what did you expect? It's like a Japanese style, or not Japanese? Is it Japanese style or is it Chinese?
I think it's Chinese. It's made by a Chinese company. Let me just see here. No, it's made from a company in Hong Kong.
Okay. Yeah.
We're all wrong.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into something else here. Before I'm gonna go through my stuff really quickly after we go through Frank's. Is Elden Ring the game of the year?
It's gonna be. There's nothing else that's actually gonna fucking come close to it. Maybe God of War Ragnarok, if it can somehow manage to be part of the Game Awards. I don't think that's gonna happen, considering like how late it is in the year.
I mean, they got to December, right, for Game of the Year?
No, it's like mid-November.
Yeah, oh, is it mid-November?
Yeah, so I actually haven't checked, so I don't even know if it's there. But I mean, the only one I think would probably even come close to, and we're just guessing, obviously, God of War can probably be fucking terrible for all we know, but I doubt it. But it's probably the only thing that'll actually like maybe even come close to Elden Ring. Not saying Elden Ring is a 100% perfect game, because it isn't. my main gripe with all the Souls games, and I thought they would hopefully maybe mitigate it or fucking fix it in this game. I understand, you know, the hitboxes are a little bit funky in these games. They always have been, and it's fine. I can deal with that because eventually you get so fucking good at dodging things that they don't even hit you anyway. However, there are some monsters in this game that I'm just like, you are the absolute level of fuckery that I despise in these games. And one of them being is that enemies still do that dumb bullshit where they choreograph an attack and you're like, oh, he's winding up for something. Okay, cool. And you dodge at the last second, but then they go, nope. and they micro adjust at the last fucking second. Yeah, I hate that shit. And of course, the hitboxes are fucking sometimes god awful. But other than that, I'm having a fucking blast with this game. In terms of just like an open world that feels more alive than anything, I think this game actually comes out on top. Now, it's not like Skyrim where you can go 5 feet and find somebody to get a quest, right? But I feel like the way they sometimes do these quests are pretty damn good. I still think they need a journal for a game this big. It makes sense in the Dark Souls games because, like, when you look at the maps on there, a lot of them are just really big straight lines, which is fine because that's how that's designed and it's perfect for that design. However, in this game that is wide and I can just kind of go wherever I want at any point, which I have been doing. I've been taking a lot of advantage of being in places I shouldn't be in the story yet. It gets a little confusing when stuff happens and you're like, oh, did I do that? Something that, like, you just don't know why that stuff is happening, right? Yeah. But I think, like, just like how we talked about it earlier, just discovering things, like I'll do something for somebody and then find them 10 hours later and be like, oh shit, hey, it's you again. What's up? How you been? What have you been up to? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That I think is really cool. The world feels like stuff is happening even if you aren't necessarily the one making it happen. And I really, really like that. I like that more and more so than, like, let's say, like Breath of the Wild. Because a lot of people take Breath of the Wild and say, like, oh, this is the pinnacle open world. Me and Harv have very similar thoughts on this, where I feel like the world isn't that alive.
I feel it's empty. Yeah, I feel like Breath of the Wild is very empty.
Whereas Elden Ring, as big as it is, I never felt like anything was not placed for a reason, right? Like, why is that bridge broken? Oh, it turns out you can get up there and get an item. You know what I mean? Or why is this area kind of look weird? Like there's a cave in there. Oh, it turns out there is a cave in there. That's the cool shit I like in video games, where you can kind of explore, but you know that something is there, right? Like off in the distance, like, oh, I can go check out that mountain really quick and see if there's something hidden in between it or something like that. That's cool. And just the discovery about it is pretty amazing. Combat wise, I'm enjoying it like crazy. I'm doing the katana wielder. I created a character named Hurricane Hank, and I am fighting everything. If it has a fucking boss like bar, I am fighting it. At first it's a little hard. It's very hard at first because you got to learn a lot of the. I had to learn a lot of the stuff I learned from the original Dark Souls games back again, because I didn't play Bloodborne. I did play Bloodborne, but I never got through it. And I beat Dark Souls 1. Good luck to asking me if I remember anything that fucking happens. I remember there's a dragon. That's all I remember. But yeah, so going through Elden Ring, I kind of wanted to, you know, pay attention and really kind of get the story of what's going on. And yeah, combat wise, I think it's still pretty decent. It still has that same Dark Souls jank to it sometimes, where, like, you know, sometimes it just does stuff that I don't want it to do. Or maybe I pressed a button again on accident and it did something that I didn't want it to do in the middle of combat. But I feel like they've given you enough resources in this game that no boss is impossible. Yeah. No boss is absolutely impossible. If you're not ready for him now, come back later, because you will be ready later.
That's the selling point for me for a lot of these things. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and what's beautiful about this is it's never really a stopgap, right? Because you never feel like, oh shit, well, now I'm stuck here and I have to get through this in order to, like, do anything, right? You can do whatever you want. You can just go fucking explore for a few hours, level up, come back, and you're ready to go. You're not necessarily stopgapped in any of these little areas and stuff like that. I like that a lot. I think that's really good. The map is really good. The characters are voiced fucking beautifully. I don't know who at FromSoft he's getting these voice actors, but they are fucking top notch, dude.
From Software gets the best voice actors in video games. Yeah, they just find people that, like, they just find people all over the world to, like, come voice these characters, and it's awesome.
The horse mount, fucking amazing. I thought I would need an upgrade for it, at least down the road. Turns out I don't really need shit for it. It's actually just that good. I can't wait to actually just play New Game Plus and just try a bunch of shit. But Harv knows I'm still going through it. I'm 100 hours in exactly. Funny enough. And I think I still have a good chunk of the map that's not there. So, and I've been to an area on accident because teleporters, that's the thing too. Teleporters will just push you into places you're not supposed to be. So I've seen other areas like later on and I'm like, oh shit, I still got like maybe another 50 hours left.
It does the genius thing of like, it gives you the map, and as you start getting map fragments, the map zooms out. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And at one point I was like, there's no way this game gets bigger, right? Like I'm like 70 hours in. How does this get bigger? And then it got bigger. I was like, come on, man. What the fuck?
I'm gonna explore everything, man. But yeah, I would say it's gonna be game of the year. It's 100% gonna be game of the year. I would say, depending on how God of War is, 95% game of the year. Right, God of War might cinch it, but I think Elden Ring is too. I think Elden Ring is too ingrained in terms of like everybody, even the memers love the game. I like the game. You like the game. Everybody likes fucking Elden Ring. Has played Elden Ring, so I don't think they're gonna have much of a problem this year at the Game Awards. But anything can happen. Also, I bought a Gandalf pipe just because of this game. Here we go. Oh, you can't really see it because it's a long ass Gandalf pipe. You know what I mean? So I hit my Gandalf pipe while I'm at the bonfire, listening to Melina talk about her bullshit. She's not there anymore. I'm kind of sad, but hey, it is what it is. At least I got Bach the seamstress monkey. Oh, speaking of which, did you see my rant in general about the bush monkey?
The bush monkey. Oh, the guy that tailors your shit?
Yeah, so I met a monkey early on who got turned into a bush. And then I like found that another monkey later on who was just he got his ass beat in a cave. And I'm like, is that the same monkey? Because they don't really. He says to come back to the bush so he can repay you, but I never went back to the bush, so I don't know if it was the same one.
Yeah, because if you progress the story, you get better sewing materials, and then you can like do better shit.
Fuck yeah!
I just passed 325 hours in Elden Ring recently, so it's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm glad that it's coming back, guys. It's coming back to the podcast. Yeah. Elden Ring's coming back. So I just want to go over a couple of things that I played. I played BioShock. I played BioShock 1. I am about halfway through that game. It's my first time ever playing through it. It's a good game. It's a good game. The hacking is terrible, but everything else of it is really, really good. I like the story. I like the vibe of the game. I like the combat. The combat's actually really, really fun. And it feels very like resource heavy, which I kind of like of like how they did it. I'm saving all the little sisters, so they're gonna survive in my playthrough.
The only way to play that game.
Yeah. I killed one just because I wanted to see what the animation looked like.
Jesus Christ, like, child murderer!
I just wanted to see what it looked like. I want to see what
child murder looked like real quick
in BioShock. And I finished up the Cuphead DLC yesterday.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is about 3 hours long. It's about 8 bosses. It is crazy how far they've gotten with their animation compared to like the first world. It is nuts to see. Have
you seen that TV show? That's also pretty nuts looking too.
I haven't seen the TV show yet. But yeah, for $8, you can't go wrong, right? As long as you own the base game. $8 for the DLC, really, 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 really good. We're gonna kind of blast through this a little bit, I think. Also, Sly, the game of how many jobs you can apply to and not getting a single response. I know how that one feels. Feels. Yeah.
I've been playing the LinkedIn, the Handshake, the Indeed, the Washington Jobs, all of them. You know how many responses I've gotten? 0.
It's a great game.
Have you tried walking to establishment and giving them paper and just being like, please give me a job?
There's literally 0 establishments within walking distance.
Oh, fuck.
Also, a lot of places
this one
now,
is like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, also a lot of places now are just like, we only take resumes online, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Saves trees, guys.
Saves trees. Fuck them trees. I'm trying to get a job.
Save trees, stop COVID. Save trees, stop COVID.
Exactly. More trees there are, less COVID there is, right? So what we've what we've been watching, Mario, what is Our Flag Means Death? What is that?
Oh man.
Our Flag Means Death is a comedy series on HBO that I didn't hear a lot of noise about until I started watching it. And now all I hear is noise about it. It's all over TikTok, all over other places as well. But it is a show about pirates on the sea, led by oh my god, I forgot his name. He's the werewolves guy in What We Do in the Shadows. He's also the manager from the Flight of the Conchords. Rice Darby, that's his name. And he leads this merry men group, and they're all not very great pirates. And Blackbeard shows up, played by Taika Waititi, and it's fucking hilarious, silly, and gay, and it's a great time. I don't know what to say. Sly, you made a noise immediately. What are your thoughts? Our Flag Means
You're just
Death.
exposing how little you watch of my other content.
I don't watch a lot.
We talked about Our Flag Means Death literally every week on We'll Throw the After Party because Marissa has rewatched it like every week since it came out. I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list. I know I'll like it when I get to it. But it's the kind of show I wanted to not watch because I felt like I had to for like content.
Yeah.
So I'm saving it to when I'm not watching like 5 million shows for content. So yeah.
No, absolutely. But yeah, it's basically just a ragtag people that are not really great pirates that get in really terrible situations that cause them to do piratey things, and it's hilarious. It's rated R. It's funny. It's dirty as hell. It of course has some really fun relationship building between both the two captains, one being Blackbeard. And yeah, it's definitely a show I recommend pretty much to anybody if you just like watching those like weekly story like one-off episodes that are also connected to the grander story. Crafty, that's a good one. Crafty said, "Is it rated R or rated R?"
Oh my god!
And this is very good. And it's a show that I honestly think if you need like a good comedy show, it's really fun. Nick Kroll has a appearance in it, and so many other celebrity guests make fun little cameos as pirates, and you can't go wrong. People get brutally murdered really quickly in this show. It's really funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing like some brutal murder to kind of cap off your weekend, eh?
Straight up, there's a character that has like a bunch of husbands, and she just brutally murders her husband at one point. It's really funny. So good.
Also, doing it in a comedy way.
Yeah,
better.
It's
even better.
So funny.
So, Fee and Frank, you watch The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah. Fee, I actually want to know what you think about The Boys more than anything.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly.
Oh, fuck you.
DJ spinning. I said, my.
Now you gotta do the whole song. Now you gotta do the whole song. You
and you don't stop.
Fab Five Freddy, everybody's fly.
Man, the best way to put it is for context, they brought my favorite Winchester brother onto the show as Soldier Boy, and I'm gonna be honest, that rendition of Rapture by Blondie was had the same energy as the outtakes of Supernatural when they decided to let Jensen Ackles play out his Eye of the Tiger lip sync fantasy.
That's good.
From like season 3,
yeah.
Where he just, if you haven't seen it, by all means, you should watch both because it has the same fucking energy. It is fabulous. It's fantastic. It was great. Like, I thought it was great. I think they went a little cool, like Tarantino a little bit in some regards. If you don't know what that means, there is a
lot of death.
There's not even that. There is a specific type of blood in Hollywood called Tarantino blood and they used a shit ton of it this season.
Gotcha.
And they went full force. And I felt like they pushed a lot of specific barriers. Or had a little bit too much fun in some regards. You could say it felt like it was being pushed into my face a little bit. If you understand that reference, there's some crazy shit that happened this season.
Oh, yeah.
And that is me being very candid and very PG about it. It is. I felt like it took some characters where they needed to. Yeah. Especially the female. If you don't know who the female is, Kyoko, her character, we got to see a lot more of her this season, and we got to see like her sides of certain things, which was really interesting. And I felt like it was a good time to do that because she was a silent party in season 2, obviously. And that's no pun intended, by the way. Don't come at me. But we didn't get to...
I didn't even catch that. God damn it.
God
damn it.
But there's a lot of things there. But the introduction to Soldier Boy was just fantastic. And his... I'm not going to go into what he does specifically this season, but it was great. I think obviously there were some times where it wasn't so great. But I felt like there was a lot of areas where they went a little bit too above and beyond just to kind of get like the like scare factor kind of like, or like in the uncomfort factor, I guess, if that makes sense. It is really interesting to see that like Eric Kripke, who is a director on The Boys, actually did Supernatural as well. And so that connection to Jensen Ackles, because there was an interview recently where Jensen was just like, man, the moment I heard that he was doing the show, I thought like, man, there's another like Kripke show I have to watch. And there's a lot of things in the show. And he talked about the fact that like when Kripke knows what makes you uncomfortable, he will push that envelope. And that was what happened in specific episodes, and in one in particular.
It's funny because I was watching an interview. I don't know if you guys know who Michael Rosenbaum is.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watch the show.
His I think it's what is it called? Between something.
Between Two Ferns.
No. I know what you're talking about. It is a podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast show. Yeah, and Jensen was on it, and he was talking about it, and he just like, I think when season 3 ended, they had like this conversation. It's when Supernatural ended or something like that. He had a conversation with Kripke. He's like, oh man, the boys are doing really good. Like, man, I would love to be, just have like a cameo or something like that in there. And he just waited like 6 months, and then he wrote like an entire script for him. So like he was the person that he wrote the script for, which is kind of cool to see.
That's awesome.
No, I think like I said, I think it was really well done. It definitely. Oh God, how do I not remember the name of the show? Just one second here.
I'll do a vamp for you. I love the little Easter egg up between the Supernatural show and The Boys being Robert Singer. I think it's so funny. Same actor and everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. This season made me miss Peacemaker.
Oh shit! I forgot Peacemaker happened.
Yeah, I miss Peacemaker as well.
Yeah, I know. Put Jensen in fucking Peacemaker, dude. He would be a treat on that show.
Man. Also, he just looked fantastic the entire season. I'm just gonna say it.
100%. He can definitely rock the superhero look. Someone has to pick him up for a superhero show or something.
Yeah,
so CW hasn't picked
up
for it.
It's called The Boys.
Yeah, but The Boys isn't.
This is it.
We're
done.
Going to be a parody of it.
We're too late. This is it.
I hope the CW would pick him up for a super. He was on the CW for like 20 years.
I mean, like the other shows, right? Because you would sometimes
He's
see cameos
supposedly
in between TV shows.
He's supposedly working on a DC project right now, so we'll see.
Yeah, because he's always going to be Red Hood.
He's currently working on the Batman animated series. Like he's voicing Batman.
Yeah,
and so he's going to be doing that. Frank said he did Red Hood, and now he even talked about it on the interview that he was recently on, that he's currently doing the voice of Batman. There was a huge rumor a long time ago that it was between Chris Evans and him for Captain America, and obviously that's
a weird timeline.
That would be
John Krasinski as well.
Yeah. The podcast is called Inside of You. Very good podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a great name.
Yeah,
What a fucking
it's really good.
but no, he even said like I would like even if like I was considered, they wouldn't have been able to deal with my my schedule because he was doing Supernatural at the time. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't take him out of Supernatural or like hold the freaking entire like MCU just so he could do Supernatural.
Yeah.
But no, I am looking forward to season 4.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some crazy shit that happens in season 4 for sure.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I loved this season. I think it was pretty good. I think this is the first time I ever really kind of got used to the week-to-week basis thing where like you come back every week and you just kind of come back to the show. I thought Jensen Ackles was fucking perfect as Soldier Boy. I want to preface this though because I forgot I wanted to say this before I said anything. We are so fucking lucky that there are competent writers for the boys like show. Like given they do some bullshit, like the whole hero-gasm thing wasn't as bad as they were making it out to be. It was way overblown. They're like, oh man, this is gonna be the craziest thing you ever seen on TV. I've seen fucking crazier. It wasn't that bad.
No, I thought the first season, like the first episode of the season, was way worse than
Exactly.
Herogasm. Like I
Exactly.
was actually like, not gonna lie, I was expecting crazy shit, and I know like for like, I'm gonna be honest, for conservative America, that was crazy shit. But I'm like, it's called Herogasm for a reason. Like there was supposed to be some crazy shit, and
yeah, because we were following the marketing and it was like, oh, this is going to be the craziest episode ever on TV or anything, blah blah blah, and I'm like, this is pretty vanilla like to like most standards. But yeah, besides that, like it was fucking great. Like the comic book of this show baffles me because it is absolutely dog shit in terms of just writing. Everybody is terrible. Nobody is written well. There is literally no fucking character arcs. Just one episode of the series or the season made it for me, and that is a character gets tortured at some point, right? Fee knows exactly what I'm talking about, and it was that one episode is what better written than the entirety of the fucking Boys comic series, and that's saying something because there are some good episodes in here, and it like, oh man, we're just so lucky to have some like source material that is absolute utter dog shit be made into something that is actually really fucking good. And then of course, like I said, Jensen Ackles, brilliant. The guy who plays Homelander still fucking got it, even though he's crazy and tried to attack a bar guy somewhere. I think he went on. I think he tried to attack somebody. I don't remember what the hell he did. He got arrested, but that's a Homelander thing, I guess. And everybody else was pretty good. Huey actually kind of was like one of the bigger parts of the season. I think Butcher was barely there most of it. They kind of more took the show, and I kind of respect that because honestly, like people like Huey, Starlight, the female, Kimiko, and like all those other people had more of a spotlight this season, and I really respect it because we really got to kind of flesh those characters out a lot more than we got to see in the last 2 seasons.
Well, we got to see one particular character, and I'm not going to specifically spoil it because it became like a massive thing for the second to last episode, to the point that I ugly cried. Like when that, like there was specific scenes that happened, and I was just like, this was one of the best ways to explain this particular character. Like it was, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it was a character that they didn't really go into for 3 seasons. And then like all of a sudden you're getting all of this and you're just like, wait a second, like this is making so much sense. And then it just like, it hits you like a Mack truck. Like it was honestly, it was devastating, and it was so well written. And I was just like, this, like if there was anything out of the season, like this scene alone was just absolutely phenomenal, and it was really well done.
DM me that character because I'm wondering who you're talking about, because I thought I knew who you're talking about, but now I'm like kind of confused.
Yeah, just one second here.
I'm still on season 2. I still haven't watched after season 2.
I'm still on season 2. I haven't seen it. I would say this is honestly one of the best seasons of there, because I feel like season 1 and 2 really kind of sat on the idea that it's just like a gory show, whereas the season kind of more delved into the characters a lot more than they did in the previous seasons.
I sent you the message, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, okay. That's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, you're right, 100%. That character finally gets their comeuppance. Given I want to spoil their identity in the comics, but I will talk about that later, like when we're off the podcast.
Oh, I know because
That's a very
I've
interesting
read
thing.
some stuff. Yeah. I've
Okay,
read
so
some
you
stuff.
know that who that character is in the comics, but it's like totally different.
Correct.
So yeah.
Sly, what is Persuasion and Bad Buddy? What is this?
You don't
that
know what
you've been
persuasion is?
I don't know what
Persuasion is a Jane Austen novel that Netflix did a movie that released today based on. And oh boy, is it a movie. It's something. It's okay, it is.
Give me how many tacos out of 5 is it? Like a half a taco or like?
I would give it maybe 2 tacos.
How many-
2.5.
How many How many traveling pants out of 5?
How many pieces of the traveling pants is it?
It's like simultaneously trying to be like farcical and taking itself way too seriously to successfully do like the trope of a farce, right? There's a lot there that I enjoyed. There was a lot of potential, right? And some of the characters were so spot on in characterization that I was like wildly impressed about, right? But the main character was completely like they completely changed her character and personality, and not for the better. They made some choices. So like besides the like main character being completely misrepresented, it was pretty good. There are some choices that they made that I went, that's a question. But we're seeing this trend in like Regency era period dramas that they're trying to be Bridgerton without understanding what Bridgerton is. Like Bridgerton is very specifically purposefully anachronistic, right? That's their whole thing. Here, the problem I had with Persuasion is they acted like the viewer wasn't intelligent. They didn't trust the viewer to understand like the themes of that story.
They belt you over the head with it.
If they dumbed it down or completely reduced any like complexity in like the narrative, and yeah, it was something. I would say if you want to get really drunk and watch something, this is a great wasted movie, right? Like it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a Regency, it's Austen, right? But I think I needed to not be sober to watch it.
As a Jane Austen expert myself, I was just
What?
I've never seen a Jane Austen film. I've never read a Jane Austen book before, so
Not a single Austen.
nope, not a single Austen.
No,
wait,
wait.
Pride and Prejudice and
Yeah,
Austen.
have you never seen
Or-
Clueless?
Oh, I have seen Clueless. Yeah.
So there you go.
Jane
Clueless
Austen?
is an Austen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Jane
it's
Austen.
based on Emma.
Is everything just Jane Austen?
Yeah,
Mostly,
is Lord of the Rings Jane Austen?
Everything's
basically.
Is
You've
Evil Dead
seen-
just Jane Austen?
Yeah.
You've
What is
seen
my
so many things that are probably inspired by Austen that anyways.
What
Is
is
she,
my life?
related, is she related to Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No, she's not.
Sad day, dude. Sad day. You know what? That was a choice. That was a choice. You know, it could have been so much better.
What's Bad Buddy?
Bad Buddy is Thai BL that I'm watching because JJ and I do our weekly live, right? Thirsty Thursdays.
Yeah.
And while we're on hiatus from 911, we wanted to force each other to watch some of our favorite shows. So he's watching Transplant and I'm watching Bad Buddy. And it's so fun. I'm so excited. It's like a Thai drama BL and it's on YouTube. It's so hard for me to not just like binge the entire thing right now. I'm gonna try to like space it out and watch one episode a week. But yeah, it's like a Rivals to Lovers college West Side Story AU, kind of, is how I would describe it. But yeah, I'm having fun with that.
Okay. There's a universe. Wait, is there a West Side Story universe?
No, I just mean like it has West Side Story vibes.
Oh, okay. I thought you said West Side Story EU, and I I like extended universe.
AU, yeah.
Okay, AU. Okay.
Alternate universe, close enough.
Got it. Okay. I was like, they got an EU for everything now, don't they?
I just need a yes or no answer from this slide. Yes or no answer. Okay. Is the weekend virtual Jane Con just a Jane Austen con?
Oh, gee.
Yeah, it's a Jane
okay.
Austen convention
Hell yeah.
happening this weekend that I'm very excited about. I missed first like couple premiere videos, whatever, because we're doing this. It's fine. I'm gonna watch them as soon as we get off. But yeah, this weekend there's a whole virtual Jane Austen convention happening, and I am so excited, y'all. They really said this weekend is for Sly and Sly alone. So much content happening for me.
I know Harv's buying a ticket. The Jane Austen expert
It's
over
free.
there.
It's on YouTube.
There you go.
You can just watch them.
There you go.
Oh
Alright,
man, so
we're
that
streaming
means
this, right?
so that means I can finally see what the pants are all about.
That
Will
no
they
different.
Tell me what the
Nope.
pants are.
Nope. Not the wrong movie.
Hey, is it Sister Traveling Pants for Jane Austen?
No.
Oh wait, hold on. How is Sisterhood and Traveling Plants not the one thing that is Jane Austen?
Because women can
He's
tell more
not
than one
murderer.
story.
Oh, I thought it was Jane Austen fucking
Damn.
book.
I think more than one woman can tell a story.
Exposed live on camera. The
Well-
Jane Austen expert over here falsified his claims.
Sly, I'm very excited for you to tell us next week all your findings at virtual Jane Con 2022.
Oh my god, I can't believe I legit thought that was a Jane Austen book.
I have the entire Jane Austen collection. Let me grab it.
Oh my god, I feel so down. Actually, you know what? I don't feel down. I don't.
How the fuck are you gonna know about Jane Austen? You're not like the Jane Austen expert or anything like that. We just exposed you.
Oh,
just
yeah,
excited.
exactly. Why Sly is doing that? Parks and Rec, great show, right?
Absolutely fantastic. I've been going
all
through
one
some
buck.
stuff recently, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to find some consistency by watching a show that I've watched 10 times. And so I wasn't really feeling like watching The Office, which is that's a huge shocker. But I was just like, you know what, I need Parks and Rec in my life, because sometimes where some areas where The Office is lacking, the Parks and Rec just was consistent. After like where The Office went a little bit awry after season 7, Parks and Rec was strong from season 2 up until the finish. So it is a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it already, definitely would highly recommend it. Honestly, unless you really want to know how Leslie Knope meets her best friend Anne, you don't really need to watch season 1 consistently, or at least if you're doing another watch through. There are definitely some quirky episodes, especially when they had representatives of Venezuela come because that was their sister city. But it was it's overall really good. The characters themselves are really well done. The entire cast is really strong. And it kind of makes me miss mockumentaries like that, especially with things like The Office and Parks and Rec. Like that was a very strong time when it came to actual sitcom comedy, and just overall just a different way to introduce comedy in a essentially a 22-minute way. And so I'm definitely, it makes me miss it. But no, I just really wanted to rewatch it. The most recent episode was the snake juice episode. If you know what snake juice is, it is essentially rat poison, and it is wild. It's apparently a Kahlua based mixed with a shit ton of other drinks mixed into one, and just a bunch of sugar. And people just go completely AWOL. But no, it's just like it's I consider it one of my comfort shows, and so I was just like I really just want to put
Your Parks and Rec is like my Friends or Seinfeld. That's really what it is. I put it on the background and I just watch it.
I have Parks and Rec and The Office is usually my comfort shows. I was almost tempted to watch The Good Place, and I'm like, that's not a comfort show. That is a comfort show up until a point, and then it's just like it's just sheer depression. So I'm going to avoid
This
that.
is, you know what? This Is Us is a great comfort show, right? That's what I wanted to watch.
Oh my
Hell
God.
yeah.
I'm
I
not
want to
gonna watch
murder
any of
that pressure cooker.
Shout out
Oh my
mental
God.
illness.
Shout out pressure
So
cookers.
this Jane Austen book, is this all the books?
So these are all my Jane Austen so far, because I lost all my books in the fire, right? So this is what I've rebuilt so far. And I have another copy of Pride and Prejudice on the way,
Pride
because
and
my best
Prejudice
friend...
is okay. That's what. Okay.
Pride and Prejudice is Austen. This is my unannotated copy, and then my best friend is annotating a copy for me. I have Northanger Abbey, because it's my favorite. I
They're
have...
close to Downton Abbey.
And I have all her early works in a collection, right? And then I have the complete works of Jane Austen, which has the 7. So it has Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Lady Susan, all in one.
Well, there you go.
Crazy.
And it's as thick as my face. So that's my current Austen collection.
I have to ask,
Crazy.
Frank, is the Necronomicon as big as that Austen collection?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're reading the Book of the Dead. So like, what's going on here?
Frank's got some show and tell.
I have 2 books of the Deads right here. We'll come back to me in a minute when I get the other Book of the Dead. But I bought a Kindle, so I've been reading books on the go. I started reading the Necronomicon, like the history of like, you know, where like H.P. Lovecraft fucking made it up and bullshit, stuff like that. About 100 pages in. It's pretty good so far. It talks about some of the like Sumerian kind of mythology with it as well, like where some of it was inspired from and everything like that. But it's currently off screen because you can't see it because I'm in fucking Elden Ring right now, just chilling at a bonfire, smoking my pipe. But there. In another room, in another dimension, there's on top of my PlayStation 5, which is collecting a hella dust right now. There is
Not even a PlayStation 5 at this point.
Yeah, there is I have one of these. You can't really see it because my camera is going crazy. But
Put on your chest.
I have a. Oh, yeah, I can actually put. Bam, right there. I have a Necronomicon from Evil Dead 2, a replica that I got from Sideshow Collectibles. Probably my second ever Sideshow collectible. It looks really cool. I like it a lot. It has some problems that I don't like, which is my only complaint is that the pages aren't as like razzle dazzled as like they look on the storefront page. Like they're really kind of torn up and like kind of crinkled and everything like that in the page, and they're very like, it looks like somebody like told the computer, hey, wrinkle the pages at least just a little bit at the edges, and it did that. So it looks too clean inside for me to really kind of like, I would say it's 100% the best prop. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, I bought this to literally sit like on display because if you're an Evil Dead fan, you see the Necronomicon, you're like, holy fuck, that's the Necronomicon. That's basically it. You don't even care what's inside the book. You're looking at the face of it most of the time. But yeah, no, I've been I got a Kindle. I've been enjoying. I'm gonna start reading more. I feel like there's a lot of like, I have a lot of downtime from when I'm like riding the bus home and like during my break and stuff like that. Like today, I just jumped on. I like went to the roof of our job and I just sat there, ate some Chick-fil-A, and then just kind of, you know, read a book. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I've been. Oh, I've been reading The Lost Hero, Percy Jackson. The sequel or prequel.
I'm very excited about for you to read.
I haven't read Percy Jackson in maybe like 9 years. It's been a very long time. I was reading this one. I'm like, I'm glad that I don't really need a refresher because like I would 100% be down to read the 5 fucking books I would have to catch back up, but I think I kind of get it already. So I'll keep you guys informed on that if it's as good. And we're getting a Percy Jackson TV show soon, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's better than the movie because the movie was dog shit. The movie was terrible.
Rick's actually involved in the show, so I have so much hope.
Fuck yeah! All right, we're good. None of that movie bullshit. The actors were okay. It was just the story was terrible. It was rushed. We never got any of the cool scenes from the book, but that's like every book adaptation when you think about it, right? So, yeah.
Sly, how's the world of Teen Wolf?
Oh my god. I've read a legitimately egregious amount of Teen Wolf fanfiction this week. I'm not proud of it. I just hyper focus on reading all of the works of like a single writer on AO3. It's a problem. But Teen Wolf is Teen Wolf. I just finished season 4, so I have 2 more to go, right?
Sure.
It's like such craft food TV.
Yeah.
I like how you said, yeah, we season 4, I got 2 to go, right? Sure, yeah, you got 2 to go.
I think so. I think it's.
I don't know. I've never seen the show.
I wouldn't know either, but you sound like when I was watching Supernatural in the middle season. So I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where I haven't seen the rest of it. So it'll be like all new, not even like vaguely like, oh, I vaguely recall that single shot from an episode. But yeah, no, egregious amount of Teen Wolf fanfiction. It's fine. I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I only one question, and that question is, does it ever tie back to the original Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf movie? I just want to know if it ties back.
Teen Wolf movie?
That's where it comes from.
Okay.
It comes from this stupid 80s movie that they made it to
it's kind of like Scream got one too, or just like here's a new TV show based on the movie.
But it's like, what if it was not 80s and more like dark and scary, people die? This one was like, he wants to play basketball, but he's a werewolf. Like, that's all the movie is. It's so good.
We do have one character who he just wants to play basketball, but he's a werewolf. There's that.
There you go. There's your
no,
mod
but
right there.
I did read. I read one fic that was like San Diego Comic-Con, like AU, where they had a fictional TV show that was like the Arrow of that universe.
Got you.
And they had Jackson Whitmore, which is a character on Teen Wolf, played by Colton Haynes. So Jackson Whitmore was an actor who played Roy Harper or Arsenal on the fictional TV show.
Yes.
I lost my mind.
Hell yeah, dude. He's a good actor too, actually.
Yeah,
I liked him every
him
time
a
he was
lot.
on Arrow. Very underutilized in that show.
Very strange.
Fun fact: there was another Whitmore who was on Lost named Charles Whitmore.
Ooh.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the Necronomicon for the uninitiated. I got it out of the packaging. It has pages. Oh, you can't see it. Damn it! My camera's not gonna let you see the pages. Good, because it's DMCA anyway. But Sideshow will probably sue me or something. But yeah, no, it's huge. It's pretty damn big. This is me next to my head. And I got a big ass head, so yeah.
Don't some of the dead.
Oh, I am. This is gonna be great. It smells bad though. It smells like latex. As a squishy face, you could squish the face.
Anyways, let's go into what we've been listening to. I know it looks like Fee has been listening to the Stranger Things soundtrack, which is probably a good segue into Stranger Things itself. Have you watched Stranger Things? Do you watch Stranger Things?
I'm not going to. You feel free to talk all you want about it.
So, I think the only 3 of us have watched Stranger Things, and I think that's how it's probably going to be. Honestly, I don't think Frank's gonna watch Stranger Things.
I'll give it a shot at some point. If you guys set up a watch party, I might watch it with you guys. But
That's a commitment.
It's
a commitment.
Yeah.
It was a good season. Good season 4. They did a decent job this season.
This podcast is sponsored by Animes by FaceRig Virtual Camera.
I tried to
Download today.
show a picture of the original Teen Wolf, and I couldn't do it. So give me a second. Fee, go ahead. Talk about Stranger Things. It's a great show.
Yeah, no, it's was really, really well done. I don't know if I agree that they should have just had the last 2 episodes split up by themselves. I mean, the anticipation and also everyone's love, as you may or may not know, there is currently a cult being built. It is based around our Lord and Savior Eddie.
Yes.
And he F off, Harv. I know he only got
I mean, what?
Wow.
Wow. I'm sorry, everybody in the chat.
Fucking dare
Oh
you,
my God.
dude. Eddie, how are you gonna badmouth Eddie,
That's
dude?
it.
Ah, it's Eddie.
Okay, well, here's the thing. This show has become such a phenomenon that a song that came out in the 1980s has now become #1 hit, which is Running Up That Hill, giving, like, God, it's insane. Like, the amount of now, like, she's won a bunch of awards because of, like, it's like Guinness World Record for being, like, the oldest song that specifically did not hit #1 when it was first released, but now it's considered a first release. Like, it's now #1. So, like, there's just it's the soundtrack. Like, I'm gonna just specifically, like, focus on the soundtrack just for a moment. Sorry, Running Up That Hill. And it's insane. The music itself was really well done. The amount of commentary and conversations that people are having about the music. Also, shout outs to Metallica for being like, fuck you, you can't gatekeep our music because it's for everybody. Because a lot of people were getting up in arms and saying, like, oh, if you don't know, like, you need to list off 3 other songs by Metallica other than Master of Puppets. And then Metallica's just like, shut the fuck up. Like, everyone should be able to appreciate the music. But no, seeing the success that Kate Bush has been getting has been absolutely phenomenal. I love Kate Bush, and seeing that and hearing that consistently on TikTok, I'm never going to get bored by it. But the characters themselves, I know, like, Harv and I sat down and talked about it, and we need to sit down and talk about the second part. But there were a lot of great moments in the show, and there were a lot of areas where I'm just like, was there a need for this? Which is a whole other, it's a completely, like, it's one particular, I didn't agree with Harv originally. The more I think about it, I agree that a specific, like, story arc did not need to exist. And Harv knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you've watched it,
Russia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Russia.
It literally did not need to exist.
It led
didn't
to
need
nothing.
happen. Yeah,
It
it
led
led to nothing.
Other than the fact that they have captured a few like, creatures from the Upside Down, and then that's it. I'm sorry, that's not even a spoiler because that's from.
What did I just hear? Oh my
Yeah.
God, Russia's involved in an 80s thing? Jeez.
I mean, yeah, it's, I don't know. There's just a lot of things there that I'm just, it didn't. There was a few like, there was certain points where I'm just like, oh man, well, we're not going to see this character for 45 minutes. Sick. Like, and that's also kind of what I was mentioning earlier when it came to the Quarry, is just there was certain storylines that I wanted to see more of, and others where I'm just like, I really wish we weren't spending this much time with them. Mind you, I love all the characters, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there was just, it kind of fell slightly flat in certain cases. But no, I think overall they did really well, and I'm also really happy that they brought up the fear factor in the show. It was needed. They really need to take that extra step, and you could definitely see that they definitely took it and ran with it. So I'm really happy. But yeah, I know Harv and I have talked about it at length. What are your thoughts, Mario?
I think the show does a really great job of connecting its story all the way back to its first season. I think that the show itself has made probably one of the best versions of Freddy Krueger than Freddy Krueger has been in the last 20 years. So I think that with that sort of reverence for that type of monster, I'm happy to see a new one exist and thrive. And I'm excited to see what continues the story of both Eleven and her friends and what's going down in the Upside Down. So very much happy about it.
No. I have a question for you too. There have been talks of spin-offs.
No, please don't.
Well, okay. I feel like what might happen is it's going to be essentially what they originally were going to do. I think it was with Halloween, where they had, it wasn't, we don't talk about it, but it did exist.
It's a good movie.
Evil dies tonight.
I mean,
no, not that one.
yes, nope.
Oh,
It's
wait, it's not Halloween 3, is it?
Yeah. People
Yeah,
like
because
people like Halloween 3 now. I don't know why people are pretending.
How fucking dare you? Not you specifically, Mario, but people who like Halloween 3, you should not be around.
it's because people are
Jesus.
really like.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's cool to really like anthologies, which what Halloween was supposed to be an anthology.
Yeah.
And so people are just like, ooh, different. But no, I think no. Overall, I'm kind of hoping that they like. Obviously, I don't want them to do anything with Hawkins. Hawkins is over. Like whatever happens in Hawkins stays in Hawkins, and then they find some other like creepy being in a different like universe. It doesn't need to be like. I don't want it to be like. I know it's going to be connected in some capacity. Maybe it's another world that's connected to the Upside Down, and we find out the Upside Down is actually part of a sandwich. But who knows?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, how I'm gonna call it right now because it's probably gonna happen because ideas are devoid of any kind of like inspiration or any kind of thing. But in like maybe 10, 15 years, you're probably gonna see a spin-off series where it's the right side up. More unlikely.
Wait. That's just Earth.
Everything in the world is inverted.
Okay, cool.
What the fuck?
It's gonna be things from the upside down coming into the right side up, and it's gonna be the opposite of what the show is. That's how devoid of ideas we are in this world.
That's called Stranger Things.
Maybe we'll get a show that's just based on the people in the upside down.
That's what I'm saying. It's just Stranger Things, but the opposite.
Yeah, they're just like, oh my god, look at that world. It's so bright over there. And they have like a whole story or something like that. Yeah. I'm ready for this show to be over, honestly. At this point, I'm glad the next season is the last season. I really honestly don't want anything else from this universe anymore. I think I've hit my Stranger Things limit. Because like I like the characters, it's cool, but like there's only so much you could do with the bad guy, honestly, at this point. I think we know where they're going with it. So, yeah.
Damn, I can't wait till we get a spinoff of Stranger Things and it's just all 90s shit.
That'll probably be next season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's that. Also, Fee, you have what was this? Ode to Billy Joel.
Ooh,
that's
Billy Joy.
It's Joe. Oh,
Billy Joe. Billy Joe.
Okay.
It says Billy Joy.
Why does it say Joy?
It's been there the whole time.
No,
I swear it said Billy Joe at
No,
first. Somebody
never did.
changed that.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, it's Billy. Okay, it's Ode to Billy Joe. So I'm gonna take you back. It's 1967, and currently, wow, fuck off, Mario. No, okay, 1967.
I'm gonna take you back to 1967.
Yeah. So there's
What? How old were you at that time, Fee?
I was not even semen. That's how young I was.
okay.
Tell me what kind of world 1967 was.
Yeah, time traveler, please, traveler. Yeah. Tell us what life was like in 1967. Was the milk still in bags?
Thank you.
Is that a new thing?
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Everybody
I can hear you.
All right, cool. You go ahead and continue. What was going on in the 60s?
In the 60s.
Yeah. Tell me about the old-timey 1967.
Okay, there was a song at the top of the charts. It was All You Need Is Love by the Beatles. And there was a specific song that took it out of #1 slot, which was Ode to Billy Joe. So, let me explain. Let me explain a little bit further. So a few weeks ago, I decided I was interested in listening to there's a few things that need to connect to this. So there's a song called When the Lights Went Out in Georgia, which is considered a Southern Gothic. It's sung by Reba McEntire, And I heard a rendition of this a long time ago, and I'm like, this is a fantastic song. So I decided to listen to that song. And one of the recommendations was Fancy, also sung by Reba McEntire, which is
This is a different Reba McEntire that's not in Tremors, right? Just want to make sure. Is it the same person?
No, it's the same one.
Yeah, it should be the same one.
Okay.
Same one. So she's a country singer.
No, I know that. I know. I'm just. I heard Lights Go Out in Georgia with like Last Train in Georgia. Again, didn't think it was the right person. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
no. So she sang a song called Fancy, which is about a girl who turns 18. Her mother's broke. Her child brother is essentially like starving, and the mother's just like, I've essentially given your name and you're going to be going with these men and you're going to be living this life in the city and you have to make a name for yourself. And so that's the song Fancy. Her name's also that. I digress. So I was just like, okay, I'm kind of interested. I decided to go on a deep dive on that song and then find out that she's not the person who wrote the song. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting. And what's also quite interesting is the person who originally wrote it has never met Reba. Just does not interested. She just does not want to, like, she has not introduced herself. They've tried, Reba's tried to get in contact with her and she's just like, no. Her name is Bobby Gentry. She came in and she wrote this song called Ode to Billy Joe, which is considered, as she puts, essentially a study of, oh my goodness, it's unconscious cruelty. So the entire premise is a girl being called to dinner, and there is a topic of a boy named Billy Joe. Why are you laughing?
You don't laugh at Billy Joe?
No,
come on, this is 1967.
Crafty Gabriel.
Oh,
he's still talking about Stranger Things. Continue.
Anywho, okay. The song is about oh my god, I cannot handle this. It's a family who live in the Mississippi and they live near a place called the Tallahatchie Bridge. And unfortunately, the night before, Billy Joe jumped off said bridge and is now gone.
Oh fuck.
Oh, rip. Straight rip.
So, but
That
the
took a
thing
turn.
is, there was apparently some odd things that occurred where he was seen with a girl and they threw something off said bridge before this happened. And so this became a huge phenomenon back in the 1967, because people had a conversation of what was thrown off the Tallahatchie Bridge. But the entire premise of the song is unconscious cruelty, because it is a girl sitting at the table listening to her family nonchalantly I'm talking about Billy Joe jumping off the bridge, not realizing that the girlfriend of Billy Joe is sitting right at the table and it's their daughter. And the daughter is sitting there obscenely sad about the fact that she lost her significant other. And so it's an idea that like people are just completely oblivious to other people's pain. And so the conversation of what was thrown off the bridge, rather than, man, it sucks that a guy jumped off the bridge, it was a consistent conversation for weeks of what was thrown up, to the point that there's apparently a movie called The Ode to Billy Joe, which I'm just like, what is happening? So
This is a deep dive.
I went through this entire deep dive of like these synopsises and like conversations about this one particular song. And she did this like rendition of it on the BBC, and it's just a story, like a Southern Gothic narrative song, and it is insane. Like, not insane, crazy, but I mean, like, it's weird to think that one particular song caused such a conversation and stir, and then all of a sudden in the late 70s, Bobby just left. She just like disappeared, and she has not been in the public eye for decades. And she's not interested in the public light. She had a few other songs, obviously Fancy and a number of other songs, and then she just drops out and ghosts everyone. Like, she had concerts, she ghosted them, and just has not been on, like, she's not interested at all. And so yeah, that was my story of Ode to Billy Joe. But it's a very interesting topic, because it's just like, what a phenomenon that happened, because like it's not even a song that people are like, obviously we talk about the Beatles all the time, but there's a singer who took out the Beatles for like the top spot, and it had like this huge like conversational piece. So yeah,
you can currently rent the Ode to Bobby Joe on Google Play, Apple TV, Vudu, Prime, everywhere. So it's a movie that has Emilio Estevez, I think, in it. So came out
Is
in
it a good
1970.
movie?
It has a 33 on Rotten Tomatoes, as a 6.5. So that's up to you. That is totally up to you.
No, the song is really good, and I would highly
1967, hell of a year.
recommend- 1967, hell of a year.
1967. Wow, man. I can't believe you brought us to 1967 so vividly. Thank you, Fee.
You're welcome. No, I just thought it was really interesting. I just went down
Well,
a
that is
rabbit
actually
hole.
kind of interesting. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
actually, that's super interesting, especially when something has like other media attached to it, and it's just kind of like something that kind of not really come and goes, but like something that is one thing and just like blows up into like
Here-
many other things, right?
Yeah.
I have a thing for you, Fee, and this is I want to hear the report. Fee, just listen to all of the music from Jeff Buckley, but do not look up Jeff Buckley.
Here's the thing.
Fuck, you already know, don't you?
I already know Jeff Buckley.
Fuck.
Lilac Wine is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal. A friend of mine introduced me back in 2011, and yeah, absolutely heartbreaking.
Yes.
And-
Everyone, look up Jeff Buckley. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Also, just like get drunk and listen to Lilac Wine. It's a real good song, guys.
Shout out to that.
So
All right,
good.
Fee, I want you to watch The Wizard of Oz, but at the same time, I want you to listen to The Dark Side of the Moon and report back to us if
All right.
you if your mind is kind of fucked up afterwards. Just
You get hyper drunk. Actually, smoke weed too. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought my first record.
Oh, what was your first record?
So I used to have a
Beyonce.
lot of records. Do you think it's Beyonce?
It's a random artist.
It's
Is it the 1967 signed ode to Billy Joel?
it's a pressed copy of Jensen Ackles singing Blondie.
Man, I wish. All of that I wish. No, so I used to have records. Well, I didn't used to have records. My grandfather used to have a bunch of records. And then I saw one, like, I was at a thing called Valley Village. The only person who probably knows what Valley Village is the person who walked
What are
away.
you talking about? I know what Valley Village
Okay,
is.
well, I
We
didn't know
go
you
there every
guys.
weekend,
I
yeah.
don't know. We just had a whole conversation about
man.
Canadian shit. Okay,
Yeah.
so anywho,
It's like our
No,
Aldi, bro.
there was a album there that brought back a lot of memories, and so I bought it, even though it's kind of like it's in a hard like the case
Doesn't
itself
sound like
is a little
Aldi.
bit it's
Sorry.
a little bit worse for wears. But I bought the record for The Sound of Music because I was just
Oh.
like, yeah, I used to watch The Sound of Music every year with my family, and I'm just
That's
like, you know
cool.
what? I'm gonna buy it. Even though I don't have a record player, do I plan on getting one? Absolutely. But no, I just thought like, you know what? I haven't bought one before, and it was not an obscene price. And there was one guy who was scalping all the freaking records, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take this while the guy's looking away. I also think he may have had it in his save pile, but I'm not gonna like.
Unsaved now, motherfucker. You snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you
Have
lose.
a good one, bud.
My
people-
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say people don't usually mess with like a 6'2" woman, with heels on. They're
That's
just
fair.
like,
Fucking
nah,
kick him in the
fam.
face.
No.
I
By
have a suggestion for a record player for you though. So when I'll DM it for you because it's the one I usually recommend for like anybody who's getting a new one. It's
Yes.
pretty fucking nice.
You should send me the link.
yeah. My record collection started with Batman the movie, so yeah, it makes sense for there to be a movie related thing to start your record subsession with.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like we need to put all these nuts into Frank's mouth so we can.
Yeah, hell
hear
yeah.
Pete talk. Am I right? Oh my god.
If you know what
Wow.
Aldi is, shout out to Aldi.
Oh my god.
Harv, kill us.
Yeah, we're dead.
Yeah, I would like to play Naraka.
Yeah, so just my last thing is just Coke Studios. It's one of the it's a YouTube channel that I think people should go check out. A lot of the end credits things from Miss Marvel is from Coke Studios. A lot of the songs from the end credits. It is a Pakistani channel, YouTube channel that puts people on like it gives people a platform to sing their songs and stuff like that. And like they do the whole set design and everything like that too. If you look up Coke Studio season 14, it is like the set design is awesome. The singers that they bring are awesome. It's just really, really, really well done, and I recommend it. yeah, I really recommend season 14 because they go above and beyond for these guys. So
I currently
very
have. I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
Very
I'm
cool.
gonna mess it up.
Very cool.
fair enough.
So how's life?
But yeah, that's all we got for for what we've been listening to, what we've been doing for the last little while. We're back for the summer now. We're now expect us to have podcasts every week. Starting here, we're gonna be putting some new changes for when it comes to our YouTube stuff and all that kind of type thing too. More streams on the channel as well, going forward. So, but I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see where we go from here. I've been looking forward to this podcast for the last like 3 or 4 days.
Hell yeah.
Which obviously a lot of things came up. We just got really busy during that time.
Yeah, honestly, that's honestly what it was. You know, I think we took a break because of the summer game stuff. By the way, shout out to the PiP crew for that. That was fucking good. All your streams were amazing.
And 6-1 Indie.
And 6-1 Indie as well. And yeah, it was just kind of more life stuff in general. Just like, you know, sometimes we got home from work, we were like, this isn't the time. This isn't the day. But yeah, glad to be back. Glad to hear you guys talk again. Glad to see what you guys have been up to.
Yes, Fee, that is the song. That is one of the best songs they have on season 4. It's so good. And she's the person that sings. Her name is Shay Gill. He found her on Instagram, and so she was singing a song on there, and he wanted to bring her to Coke Studios, and doing like the set design. There's another song that I'm gonna put in there, but yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what happens this year for us and PiP. I'm excited to see what kind of shows we're gonna bring to the channel, and some of the reviews that we're gonna be doing as well. And I'm very excited.
Woo woo.
Hell yeah.
But on that note, yeah, that is our episode 52. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. We appreciate you guys like crazy. If you guys like this content, go subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/pointinprogress. If you guys want to watch us live, we're at youtube.com or twitch.com or twitch.tv. Oh my god, I can't even say it. Twitch.tv/pointinprogress. You can watch it live there, interact with the chat, all that kind of stuff. Let's go one person at a time. Mario, where can everybody find you?
Find me at the Penultimate Conquest, where you can see all my stuff. I worked with them recently on Thor: Love and Thunder. It was fun. But really, you can find me here, of course, at the Point in Progress podcast, where we do all fun things, including MC University, which is finishing up season 1. And then Twitter, THT Mario Rivera.
He's back to the Mario Rivera. No more Night Mute.
Yeah, Night Mute City is dead.
It's dead.
Straight dead.
I took him out back and shot him in the
fucking dead.
Look at the flowers.
Figure people would
the exact flowers that Fee is holding.
Sly, where can everybody find you?
You can also find me on MC University. We're gonna have a great time. We have so much exciting shit coming in season 2. I can't wait for y'all to see it. You can
the timeline, the X-Men timeline that we're creating is gonna be hilarious. I'm very excited.
Get
nuts.
Wait, there's more plants? Every time I look at you, there's another plant.
You can also find me live on Twitch every Thursday for Thirsty Thursdays with JJ, where we're talking about fan fiction and TV shows and all the stuff we're doing with the gaping hole that 911 has left in our souls. And you can find me on Welfare the After Party every Saturday at 8 Eastern, where we're talking about Only Murders in the Building, Miss Marvel. We'll be talking about She-Hulk when that's coming out, all the pop culture goodies, and the other half of all the shit I watched this week. You can hear me talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, this is also where you can find out Fee and Secret Reports on Ivy. Fee, I'm gonna go to you last. You're gonna keep holding those things.
You're gonna work out.
Gandalf, where can we find you?
How the hell does what is his name? Dildo or what fucking what his name is? I don't know.
Bilbo?
Dildo like this.
Bilbo? Bang. Oh my
Dildo Baggins.
You knew it wasn't dildo, you fucking freak.
I know. Fucking asshole.
Dildo like this or some shit. You can find me at Twitter at the Frank GV, where I post clips of Elden Ring, talk shit about video games, and that's really kind of about it lately. I've been so busy with work. I actually like my job a lot. It's pretty nice. So it's been pretty sweet. So I've been kind of more invested in that than anything. But it's been pretty good. Go check out my Twitter. I talk a lot of shit about video games, and you can find me here at Point in Progress again, where hopefully we will have some crazy projects on the horizon soon.
100%. Poison Ivy, where can people find you?
Oh, but you can find me in
What the
Long-ass fucking
fuck?
pipe. Yeah.
So that's it for Poison Ivy. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
That was a whole. That was a whole story. Wow, I can't believe we got the whole Poison Ivy lore in that split second. That was great.
That's so funny. You can find me over on twitter.com/Ceranics. Someday when yes, the after credits scene. No. Once my life is not absolutely bonkers and I'm spending like 10 hours doing things for work, I plan on doing some streams again. I know I keep on saying that, but things been getting crazy, everybody. So yeah, I definitely have some since we're gonna get into like the fall season, I want to play some comfort games, maybe some spooky ooky games. But yeah,
that PSL season, guys.
Yeah, we're getting into that PSL season, and also just probably want to start playing more Naraka, probably just because I've been consistently really liking that, and hopefully by the time when my life isn't absolutely bonkers, I'm still playing that game, which I probably will because, it's a lot of fun.
It's a great way to just jump in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
As Xbox says, jump in.
I'm crying. Just threw me for a loop.
The boo womp.
But yeah, you can find me here on Point in Progress. You can find me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/beardandthehairgaming. You can find me at Beard and the Hair everywhere else. But yeah, we're going to have some more content coming out on the channel here soon.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for the next, at least for the next 6 months. Very excited for the next 6 months.
50 more episodes of Point in Progress.
Oh man, you know what, everybody? Once they release the best collaboration of all time, which is Dead by Daylight meets Attack on Titan, I'm just gonna buy everyone's skins and we're just gonna play that. I'm gonna buy everybody's skin on this podcast and we're gonna just play it.
Mark it down right now. We're gonna play 2 games of Dead by Daylight and then that's it. We're gonna be like, you know what? Let's just go back to Naraka and that's it. That's
it's gonna be me and Fee playing it for like a week and then we eventually give up.
Yeah.
If one of the characters is dressed like Sasha, I'm like dead.
They got like 8 other characters, right? Because there's supposed to be 10 skins. So.
Yep.
Sasha Banks.
I think we got what? We got.
She's not Sasha Banks anymore.
Zach.
Oh yeah.
Aaron and like another thing.
Yeah, Dwight's
the character.
Shout out to Attack on Titan, which I'm watching Parasite, by the way.
Why are you watching Parasite?
The movie?
No, the anime.
It's the anime. Yeah.
I mean,
I promised chat that I would do it, so I have to finish by Monday.
Oh, do you guys know that Ninja Scroll is on Amazon?
Oh fuck! Let's have a watch party of that. All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining for episode 52 of the Point in Progress podcast. We appreciate you guys, but we'll be back again next week for episode 53. Wherever you guys are, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, fantastic night, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.